Snow fell like ash from a dying sky the night he found the bunker, and if fate had a sound, it was the hollow echo of boots crunching towards something buried and forgotten. The world believed men like him were unbreakable, carved from steel and silence. But as he stood in front of the rusted Cold War door he had just bought for $199 at a county auction, the ex-Navy SEAL felt anything but invincible. He had not come looking for history. He had come looking for a place where the noise inside his own head might finally quiet down. Before we step inside this story, take a second to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you believe in kindness and second chances. Stories like this deserve to be told, and remembered. The bunker was half swallowed by snow and shadow, its concrete shoulders rising out of the frozen earth like the back of some ancient animal refusing to die. He had purchased it on impulse after months of sleepless nights and restless days. Civilian life had not wrapped around him the way people promised it would. There were no missions now, no brothers watching his back, no purpose that demanded everything he had. There was only silence, and sometimes that silence roared louder than gunfire. The only constant at his side was his German shepherd, a retired military K9 with intelligent eyes and scars hidden beneath thick fur. The dog had saved his life once overseas. Now, perhaps, they would save each other. He turned the heavy steel wheel on the bunker door and felt resistance give way with a metallic groan. The air inside was stale, thick with decades of abandonment, but it was solid. Safe. Underground. He imagined rebuilding it slowly, room by room, transforming it into something steady and controlled. Something that did not collapse without warning. The dog padded ahead, nose low, tail steady, mapping the darkness like it was just another mission. That was when the dog froze. At first, it was just a shift in posture, ears forward, muscles tight. Then came a low whine, the kind that vibrated with urgency. The SEAL stepped back outside, scanning the snowy ground near the bunker entrance. That was when he saw him. A man lay slumped against the concrete wall, half covered in drifting snow. His coat was threadbare, his boots worn thin, his skin pale beneath a scraggly gray beard. One trembling hand clutched a faded military patch sewn onto his sleeve as if it were the only proof he had ever mattered. The SEAL dropped to his knees instantly, instinct overriding shock. He checked for a pulse. Weak, shallow, alive, but barely. The sight hit harder than any battlefield memory. This was not an enemy. This was one of their own. A veteran. A man who had once stood somewhere under another flag in another storm, believing service would mean something in the end. Without hesitation, the SEAL dragged him inside the bunker, shutting out the wind. He wrapped him in spare blankets, started a portable heater, and gave him small sips of water until the man's eyes fluttered open. There was confusion there, shame, and something deeper, resignation. The SEAL had faced insurgents, explosives, impossible odds. But nothing prepared him for the quiet devastation of seeing a fellow soldier reduced to freezing at the door of a forgotten bunker. He learned, slowly over the next hours, that the man had served decades ago. Different war, different era, same promises made, promises that had frayed over time as jobs disappeared, family ties unraveled, and pride kept him from asking for help. He had been drifting for months. He had seen the bunker lights flicker on and followed them like a final gamble against the cold. That night, the SEAL did not sleep. He sat against the concrete wall, dog at his side, listening to the steady breathing of the man. He had nearly lost to the snow. He realized something then. He had bought the bunker to hide, to retreat, to survive his own ghosts. But maybe it was never meant to be a fortress of isolation. Maybe it was meant to be a shelter. Over the following weeks, the bunker changed. What started as a solitary project became a mission reborn. The SEAL repaired wiring, reinforced walls, stocked supplies, not just for himself, but for others who might need a place to land. The older veteran regained strength, color returning to his face, purpose flickering back into his eyes as he helped with small tasks. They worked side by side in the quiet underground space, two men from different generations bound by a shared oath that had never truly expired. The German shepherd watched over them both, moving between rooms like a silent guardian, as if aware that this bunker now held something sacred. It was no longer just concrete and steel. It was proof that abandonment was not the end of the story. Word spread slowly in the nearby town. Not about a bunker, but about a veteran who refused to let another freeze in the dark. Soon, local volunteers offered blankets. A mechanic donated a generator. A grocery store dropped off food near closing time. What had been purchased for $199 became something priceless, the lifeline. The SEAL understood then that healing did not come from hiding underground. It came from opening the door when someone knocked. The dying veteran at his doorstep had not just been saved from the cold, he had saved the SEAL from something colder, his own isolation. If this story has touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like, share, and comment. Let this message reach someone who might need it today. And before this story ends, I want you to comment one word below: honor. Because no one who served should ever be forgotten. The snow eventually melted, but the bunker remained, a quiet refuge beneath the earth where broken men rediscovered strength, where loyalty ran deeper than trauma, and where second chances were not just given, but built with calloused hands. In the end, a $199 relic from the Cold War became a reminder that the greatest battles are not fought with weapons, but with compassion. And sometimes, the bravest thing a warrior can do is open a door.